Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep into the ideas behind the shifting global order, the decline of Western dominance, and the rise of BRICS, as articulated by Professor Sachs.
That's right. It's like we're witnessing an end of an era, isn't it?
Exactly, it's like the Western centric model that's been in place is now giving way to a new multipolar reality.
Indeed.
Sachs discusses how militarism and a sort of, well, aggressive posture from the West is colliding with the rising influence of emerging economies like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Interesting. So he's essentially saying the global balance of power is shifting because these BRICS nations are asserting themselves on the world stage, right?
Yes, exactly. And it's not just about economics, but also about the ideological and cultural implications. The emphasis on sustainable development remains, but the context is changing entirely.
Yeah, that's a big shift. And Sachs points out that the traditional Western hegemony is struggling with its own internal militaristic tendencies, right?
Right. He emphasizes that the militarism of the West, its aggressive policies, and its economic warfare approaches are contributing factors to this decline. It's almost like a self destructive cycle where trying too hard to impose order globally is backfiring.
That's fascinating. Almost like they're caught in a loop of their own making. But I'm curious, how does Sachs tie this to the rise of BRICS?
Well, Sachs argues that as the Western system becomes increasingly unsustainable, nations within BRICS are stepping up to create a multipolar world. It's like they're offering an alternative model, one that's more representative of the current global economic landscape.
Interesting point. I see. And does he mention anything about the sustainability aspect? Because I recall he has a strong focus on sustainable development issues.
Absolutely. He ties in sustainable development, emphasizing that while Western nations were advancing their agendas through militaristic dominance, they were overlooking the long term benefits of a more balanced, eco friendly approach.
Yes, that's a key detail. So, is it fair to say that Sachs believes that the rise of BRICS might not only rebalance political power, but also steer global policies towards sustainability and equitable growth?
Exactly. It's kind of like a realignment. He suggests that with BRICS, there's a significant chance for structural changes in global development. And while the West wrestles with its own internal issues, like military overreach and economic warfare, BRICS offers a counter narrative where cooperation and sustainability take center stage.
That really paints a picture of two contrasting paradigms, doesn't it?
It does indeed. And think about it this way, it's like two competing blueprints for the 21st century. One blueprint is that old aggressive design, and then there's the BRICS blueprint, which emphasizes multipolarity and long term sustainable progress.
Yeah, it's like comparing different architectural plans for society. Speaking of blueprints, do you think Sachs might be a bit optimistic about BRICS as the solution? I mean, there's got to be challenges there too, right?
That's a fair point. I mean, while Sachs outlines this rise as almost inevitable, we can question whether BRICS will seamlessly transition into a model that overcomes the pitfalls the West faces. I'm not entirely convinced that simply shifting power can immediately fix internal systemic issues in governance, economics, and policy coordination.
Exactly. So you're suggesting that just because there's a power shift, it doesn't necessarily mean all the inherent issues will magically disappear?
Precisely. There's a nuance here. While a multipolar world might alleviate some conflicts driven by Western hegemony, it might also introduce new challenges, especially if these emerging powers don't fully align on sustainability or democratic values.
Right, that's an important caveat. And how does Sachs deal with that complexity? Does he provide any insights into how these nations might overcome potential infighting or contradictory policies?
He acknowledges that the road ahead is anything but smooth. According to Sachs, the rise of BRICS is set against a backdrop of shifting alliances and perhaps even emerging tensions, but he underscores that the multipolar reality is already in motion. The idea is that by representing multiple cultural and economic interests, a more balanced, albeit complex, global order will emerge over time.
Yeah. It makes you think about the nature of global power dynamics, doesn't it? Like, If power becomes distributed rather than centralized, then diplomatic issues might take on entirely new forms.
Exactly. And it's like, say, you're no longer playing on a single chessboard, it's a whole new game with multiple boards. This fragmentation could foster innovation in global governance, but also require significant adaptations from all parties involved.
Yes, that's a really striking analogy. And if I recall correctly, Sachs also touched on the historical context that led to this shift, right? The dependency on a single centralized power has been eroding over decades.
Spot on. He reminds us that the Western centric world was built over centuries, but its foundations have been gradually weakened by economic revolutions, technological advancements, and now the rising geopolitical influence of BRICS. It's almost like an inevitable evolution, you know?
Right? Like a system reaching its natural life cycle. There's a bit of inevitability in what he discusses, but what about the military aspects? How do they factor into this new global equation?
Good question. Sachs emphasizes that the militarism inherent in the West's approach can actually stifle economic and social progress. The idea is that an over reliance on military might, rather than smart economic collaboration, only pushes things further into chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a classic case of misdirected resources, isn't it? Instead of investing in sustainable growth, those resources often go into, well, military budgets and conflicts.
Exactly. It's like you're pouring all your water into fighting a battle instead of irrigating the fields that can actually yield lasting benefits. This misallocation, Sachs warns, not only hampers progress but also accelerates the decline of the old order.
That's some powerful imagery. And on the flip side, the BRICS nations, by focusing more on collective growth and sustainable development, might avoid that pitfall.
Precisely. It's not a perfect solution by any means, but it introduces a framework that could, over time, lead to a more balanced and responsible use of resources.
Absolutely, it's a refreshing perspective. Now, I'm curious, what do you think about Sachs's view on the future? Do you believe the current trajectory will hold, or is there room for significant course corrections?
I think Sachs sees the course as largely predetermined by the forces at play, economic, political, and cultural. But he also leaves a space for agency, you know. People and nations can recalibrate and choose different paths. It's like the system is on a collision course, yet there's always that tiny window for reorienting priorities before the impact becomes irreversible.
Yeah, that's quite thought-provoking. And do you reckon his analysis might serve as a wake-up call for Western policymakers? I mean, perhaps it could prompt a serious rethink in strategy and diplomacy.
I would hope so. It's a call for reflection. If policymakers heed this warning, maybe they could steer their nations away from unproductive militarism toward more cooperative, sustainable innovations. However, I can see it being a hard pill to swallow for those used
That
to
makes
the old
sense.
model.
I mean, change at that scale is bound to be met with resistance, right? There's this inherent inertia in global politics.
Absolutely. And that's where the challenge lies, balancing the need to maintain national security and the status quo while embracing a reformed multipolar global order that benefits everyone in the long run.
Definitely, it's a tough balancing act. It really brings to mind the idea that revolutions, both political and economic, are rarely quick or clean. There's always a messy transition period.
Exactly. It's like a major renovation. You have to tear down some old walls to build something new, even if it means a lot of disruptions in the process. Sachs is effectively saying that the spectacular shift is underway, and it's up to us to adapt wisely.
Yeah, that's a neat way to put it. Well, this conversation certainly gives us a lot to think about, from global power dynamics to sustainable development and the pitfalls of militarism. Thanks for unpacking these ideas today.
My pleasure. It's been a robust discussion, and like Sachs reminds us, being aware of the shifting global landscape is the first step towards shaping a better future.
Until next time, let's keep questioning and exploring these evolving narratives.